guys, and welcome to another video. So in this video we're going to be discussing a few more rumours from legit sources, from big sources regarding our current manager search. We've currently gone 102 days without a manager. Now I know that sounds massive, but I guess if you take into consideration that we did have Mike Dodds in charge, it's not technically true, but it just sounds better as a title or as a sentence. It sounds a lot more powerful, doesn't it? But it is getting utterly ridiculous that we're now 102 days without an official manager. Of course, Mike Dodds was just interim head coach at the time. So we will be discussing some things that were going on Twitter yesterday, which, you know, it was just an absolute playground yesterday with journalists pulling the strings of Sunderland fans' hearts left, right and centre yesterday. And if you do have Twitter, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But also, there is big rumours from, again, official sources stating that a couple of Premier League sides are looking at Jobe Bellingham after his signature as well. But before we do get into it, can you do us a favour, guys? Hit that subscribe button if you're not already. There's literally, I think, 40 to 50% of you guys that regularly watch that aren't yet subscribed. And we are antagonisingly close to hitting 16,000 subscribers. So if we could hit that within the next few weeks, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Your support is massively, massively appreciated. And of course, there is the channel members option as well, if you would like to support the channel even further. Those of you who already have done that, I massively, massively appreciate it. So thank you for your continued support. But firstly, I would like to apologise. There hasn't been any content on the channel for the best part of a week. And why is that? Because nothing has been going on. The silence from the club has been absolutely deafening. Nothing has been going on whatsoever in terms of course, head coach. Even rumours around players incoming and outgoing. Very, very little has been said. So I would have been absolutely scraping the barrel for content if I was to make anything within that time. So I do apologise. There's been nothing, but when there's nothing, generally there's nothing going on with the club. So you don't need to worry. But firstly, let's talk about Jobe Bellingham. So yesterday, from several sources online and big sources as well, proper official sources, state that Crystal Palace and Brentford are both seriously looking at Jobe Bellingham. And I believe Crystal Palace are actually in talks, or have at least started negotiations, according to some sources, regarding Jobe Bellingham. Now, that starts off a really interesting debate for me, because, of course, the name that is attached, that actually gives him more value, which is strange, but it's just true. His age, and he has, I think, another 3 years at least left on his contract. So money-wise, financially, I personally would take 5-6 million, but it wouldn't surprise me if they went upwards of maybe 10 million, only because of the things I've just mentioned. Do I think he's worth 10 million right now? I don't. I honestly do not. If we genuinely got anywhere near 10 million, I would be buzzing. Not to say goodbye to Jobe Bellingham, just because I think that would be an outstanding deal. I believe that Birmingham do have a 15% sell-on clause for him. However, if we're going to be brutally honest about the Jobe Bellingham we've got now, his stats probably flatter him a little bit. And of course, again, he's 18 years of age. It was his first full senior season in Championship football. And if you look at it in that sense, he did okay. However, we don't know his position at the moment. And if we're being brutally honest again, 7, 8, 9 games in a row, usually he's totally anonymous. You wouldn't even notice he was on the pitch. And again, I think he was mismanaged last season, a topic we mentioned a million times throughout the year. And then the second he's brought out of the squad for one game, we put him back in and he has a blinder. He just has a lot to learn. He's a young lad with a lot of potential. But as of right now, if any Palace or Brentford fans are looking at this, having a wonder about what he's like, right now, he is absolutely no way near Premier League quality. And if you're looking at the performances at the back of last season, probably fits a mid-table Championship side. Just about. And again, it sounds like you're being harsh, but you need to be brutally honest with what we've got now. Again, I think he's got massive potential. If we do manage to keep holding for another year or two, and he does progress in the way I think he probably will, he'll be worth a hell of a lot more. But if we got a bid of 8, 9, 10 million right now, that would be absolutely... I'd be fine with that. I'd be absolutely fine with that. You know, like I said, he has loads of potential, but if a Premier League side come knocking and he wants to progress, he's got a good mentality. I don't think he's a poor player by any stretch. But, you know, if we just, again, if we're just based on what we've already seen, I'd snap their hand off for 8, 9, 10 million. Even like I said, I think we could, even 5, 6 million would probably be a little bit generous with what we're seeing because, again, I keep on saying he's got loads of potential, which he does. But he's very, very slow on the ball. Sometimes, like I said, he goes missing in games. You can see him kind of just pointing at other players to do things, or he's just wandering around aimlessly whilst not actually contributing anything himself. But then he'll have another game, like I said, 8, 9, 10 games later. Maybe that's slightly exaggerated, but sometimes he will go missing for 6, 7, 8 games. He'll just pop up with a blinder where, because he's so unpredictable with his running, because he's like Bambi on ice at times when he's running at place. He don't know what to do, and then he'll put one in the top bins, and then everyone thinks he's phenomenal again because he's got the Bellingham name. That sounds a bit harsh as well, but that just comes with the territory, doesn't it? You know, one of the best players in the world right now is his brother, and he's always going to have that attached to him. So the second he does anything good, every outlet, Sky Sports, anyone else, BBC, they're playing replays of whatever he does, anything good, over and over and over again. But if it was someone else, I don't think we'd get a look in. I think if we didn't have the Bellingham name attached to him, none of this would be happening personally. Because, like I said, he has had a relatively average season, but he does have that potential. Again, for an 18-year-old, it's a decent season. But when you watch him like we have as Sunderland fans, and you watch 90-minute games of him, is he really that good at the moment? No. But either way, I'm beefing with myself here. But again, it'll be very interesting to see what you guys think in the comments down below. And I've just gone around in circles and just argued with myself. But yeah, it's a strange one. It's a strange one. I just wouldn't be as heartbroken as I've seen some people online. If they did offer, you know, upwards of 5, 6 million, I'd be perfectly happy with that, to be honest with you. It's a shame he's got potential, but it'd be a bargain for what he is and the standard he is right now. But anyway, let's get on to the managerial talk, which was the real sort of piss take yesterday. So there were reports that first thing in the morning that from Sky Sports stating that Will Still is in basically the bracket of managers that we're talking with, but it was just nothing new at all. It's something that we've been discussing for the best part of 3 months. Do you know what I mean? 3, 4 months. We've been speaking about Will Still potentially becoming the next Sunderland head coach, and that's all they literally said. He is in the running amongst other names. And then a few moments later, pardon me, a few moments later, there was reports coming from France that there's another French team that have 100% got Will Still. He's signed the dotted line. Then later on, Fab comes out and says that Sunderland are still speaking with Will Still. That's what's still happening. So we're getting chucked left, right and centre. But then an outlet comes out, and it's a big outlet as well. A highly followed and generally trusted outlet comes out and states that Raphael Wicke, who previously managed Young Boys and won the double with them in the Swiss League, European football experience as a head coach and a manager. He is all but signed for Sunderland on a 2-year deal with an option of a 3-year deal. So literally by the time it took me to read Raphael Wicke's Wikipedia intro, it was already put out. That flame was already put out because Fab comes out yet again and says, in contrast to other reports, Sunderland aren't even speaking on and are not interested in Raphael Wicke whatsoever. So there was a lot of back and forth yesterday. 1 minute Sunderland fans are celebrating that we finally got a head coach, and then it's ripped away from us. 1 minute we're pissed off because Will Still is going to somewhere else, and then he's back in talks with Sunderland again. We don't know, but at the end of the day, and a lot of people had I had this discussion online with people yesterday. We don't know what happens behind closed doors or what's happening now. Don't get me wrong, 102 days has passed now and it is becoming a massive piss take. You only have to have a look at other clubs now that have sacked managers and within a week they've got their man. So why aren't we doing that? That's my complaint, and yes, I totally get that. But also we need to remember that the club, they may be, because obviously the rumours, when a rumour sticks and goes around that much about someone like Will Still, or even with players, people start to believe it as fact, as Sunderland are definitely going for this man. There's the number one man. He's the one we 100% wanted. And then when it doesn't happen, be it a manager or a player, everyone goes, oh, I'll sack the board. The shit, they fumbled it. We've wasted our opportunity, when you have no idea that they might not even be interested in the first place. But because you've heard that rumour so much, you start to believe it. So we have absolutely no clue who the club are actually speaking to, who they're actually interested in, who's their number one target, because I'm sure now, because we've heard Will Still's name, and I'm getting fucking sick of it, to be honest with you, because I've heard his name so much, people will automatically believe that that is our number one choice. You have absolutely no idea if Will Still could be our number 7th choice. So if in a few days' time, or whenever, it could even be today, we see Will Still maybe sign for another club, and then we sign another manager that we may not have expected, everyone will largely say, oh, we've missed out on Will Still, we've fumbled it because of all this time, and we've had to settle for this guy. You have absolutely no idea if Will Still was down the pecking list, if that makes sense. But it's a difficult, it's one of them, it's, because we're just coming to our own conclusions now that Will Still is the one that we're talking to, and that's the one we're looking at, because that's the main rumour that we're getting, but that's all it is. It's rumours. Sky Sports get it wrong half the time, and they're meant to be the most reputable source, aren't they? But so that's kind of what happened yesterday. It was just an absolute shit show. Sunderland fans celebrating 1 minute, then getting pissed off the next. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. I know I've just pretty much rambled at you, but I just thought that's everything that happened yesterday. In a nutshell, just a bit of a mess, and like I said, the whole Joe Bellingham stuff just got sprinkled in the middle of it, just to add fuel to the fire. So let me know what you guys think about the whole Joe Bellingham situation, and who do you want to see as manager, and what do you think of the shit show that was yesterday online? If you do have Twitter, you'll know exactly what I'm on about. But anyway, if you've enjoyed, hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, take care, stay jammy.